After our first video, I wanted to jump back into Cricket 22 because I didn't feel like I gave it enough of a chance. I wasn't being hypercritical, I just didn't feel like they added as much to the bowling mechanics as they were suggesting. But after playing for a few more hours, I'm starting to learn that their new arcade control layout is actually pretty cool. Since we've already talked about the batting, and really there's not a whole lot to discuss, this video will mostly focus on the new arcade bowling style. I'd also like to say that in our first video, I mentioned only being able to play as the English players. Evidently, many others have been able to play as the Australian players, but never both. I don't really know how this works. It might be location based or it might be random. All I know is I got the English team. Big Ant have brought in a whole new set of controls for their bowling. This brings the control types to 3. You of course have your 2 originals, Pro and Standard, with Arcade now jumping in the ring. Now, the arcade style is actually very cool. Before selecting your delivery type, you're able to place a marker down on the pitch. You can place this at seemingly any line or length. There is a limit to how far up and down on the pitch the ball can be placed, and I guess this is designed to take out beamers or crazy bouncers. Seeing this took me back to games like Cricket 2005 or Cricket 07, where you got to choose your line and length. However, the fact you're choosing the marker's position before the ball is bowled makes it a lot more user-friendly. I'll only add one small negative to the marker system. When using a fast or medium pace bowler, it can be kind of tricky to see where the marker is on the pitch. By pressing up on the D-pad, you're able to zoom in a little, but this is kind of an annoying system to use after every delivery, and it still doesn't really give you a proper reading. I actually think there's an easy fix here. If I were the developers, I'd consider adding in a box somewhere that lets you see how many meters the marker is from the top of the crease. So once your marker is selected, you're able to choose your delivery type. This is exactly the same way as it was in Ashes and Cricket 19. But now this is where the brand new Aftertouch system comes into play. Once your line and length is locked in, the Aftertouch system allows you to maneuver the ball further. I found this particularly handy when I was bowling with spin. With fast bowlers, it still works, but I just don't really see the point. I know that Big Ant's most recent gameplay video used words like drift, but what we're really looking at here is a tool that helps you reposition the marker. And unless you accidentally press the wrong button, you should be able to do all of this when you initially select your line and length. I like what Big Ant are doing with the arcade controls. I personally don't believe they've nailed it yet, but their implementation makes me think they're trying to further immerse the players into the action. Bowling in the nets doesn't yet allow you to bowl to a batsman. This doesn't change anything from a mechanics point of view, but it also doesn't allow you to see how you can manipulate your bowling to get the best results. I'm glad I decided to jump back into the game. I spent quite a lot of time trying to nail down the new bowling mechanics, and I felt by the end of it, I was really starting to do that. I'm starting to feel more and more confident that Cricket 22 is going to be a big improvement on Cricket 19, specifically when it comes to bowling for long periods of time or trying to outthink a batsman. So there you have what I guess you could call our second impression of Cricket 22, or at least the Nets Challenge part of Cricket 22. Once Cricket 22 is released, we'll be back with a full deep dive review of the game, so keep your eyes peeled for that.